Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to Telling Time. Today we're diving into the Nomadic Marai 401 Deep Ocean Blue, a watch that blends vintage-inspired aesthetics with a solid modern build. At first glance, this watch undoubtedly takes inspiration from great dive watches such as the Tudor Black Bay and even the Rolex Submariner. And at 1/3 of the price point, could this be a worthy alternative to the Tudor Black Bay? Let's find out. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to Telling Time for more independent reviews, watch adventures and tips, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Founded in 2020, Nomadic draws inspiration from Belfast's rich maritime heritage, particularly its shipbuilding legacy. The name Marai means seafarer in Irish, and the trademark yellow seconds hand echoes the iconic yellow cranes of the Belfast shipyard that built the RMS Titanic, reflecting the brand's mission to produce an iconic marine instrument. Despite being relatively new, Nomadic has quickly gained a loyal following for its meticulous attention to detail and excellent production quality. The Marai 401 is the flagship model, designed to put Belfast on the watchmaking map and perhaps compete with some of the bigger names in the dive watch category. Alex has kindly offered to send in this watch for review, so I'm thankful to Alex and I'll be sending it back to him after this. But how does it actually stack up? Let's dive into the details. Starting with the aesthetics, at first glance it's immediately obvious that the Marai 401 Deep Ocean Blue has a vintage-inspired design with its skin diver case and unguarded crown. The dial features a stunning deep blue finish, not unlike the Tudor Black Bay 58 Blue, with the classic dive watch marker layout of batons at the 3, 6 and 9 and a triangle at the 12 o'clock, and circle markers elsewhere. The dial is framed by a royal blue ceramic bezel insert with the classic Submariner bezel layout, including a lume pip at the 12 o'clock. Let's start off with the bezel action test of the 120 click unidirectional dive bezel. I must say that the bezel action is impressive, quite loud and tight but extremely solid feeling with no backplay at all. The hour hand is a truncated baton, while the minutes hand is a pencil style, and the seconds hand is accented in a yellow color and points with the slightest taper. The applied indices and hands are filled with C3 Superluminova, which has amazing performance in low light conditions. The lume is bright and lasts long for sure. The entire watch is done to a brush finish, save a few polished chamfered bezels, giving it a real tool-like aesthetic. And on the side you get a large signed screw-down crown. The bracelet of the watch is a 3-link bracelet with narrow links, and turning to the side you can see that the links are quite thick and chunky and doesn't offer great articulation. So rather than an oyster style bracelet, I can describe this as a block style bracelet like the ones you would see on your Fortis watches. Needless to say, the bracelet is very robust with solid end links and a milled fold-over clasp. The end links also feature quick release spring bars, which is always a nice feature to see in microbrand watches. Included in the clasp is an on-the-fly micro-glide adjustment system, which is another enjoyable quality of life addition at this price point. Flipping the watch over reveals the Swiss-made Sellita SW200-1 movement through the see-through caseback. A reliable workhorse with 41 hours of power reserve, which is a direct competitor to the ETA 2824. The ETA 2824 being in luxury watches such as the last generation Tudor Black Bay 36 really shows the caliber of movement in the Nomadic offering. And capping off the movement stack is a very unique propeller-shaped oscillating rotor, again calling back to Belfast nautical heritage. Despite the see-through caseback, the Marai 401 offers 200 meters of water resistance, making it suitable for everything from a casual swim to a deeper plunge. The final detail on the case that can be seen from the back is this little step in the lugs. Although I don't really know the purpose of these, it does give a bit of flair to the case side profile. Getting it on wrist, the Marai 401 Deep Ocean Blue wears very well. Its 40 by 48mm case diameter and 11.5mm thickness strikes a nice balance between wrist presence and wearability. And this size would certainly work for a lot of people out there with slightly larger wrists than mine. Due to the solid block bracelet, the watch feels quite secure, balanced, and even hefty on wrist. So onto the pros of the watch. After spending some time with the Marai 401, the most obvious pro is the design considerations and build quality of the watch. From the color matched royal blue dial and the bezel to the strong lume, well-proportioned skin diver case, solid block bracelet and quick adjustment systems, I can confidently say that Nomadic has left no stone unturned in designing and producing this watch as a luxury offering in the microbrand space. The second pro is the legibility and versatility. Taking from a tried and tested dial design and sizing, the Marai 401 succeeds in providing all the benefits of such a timeless design, and wearing the watch in person, I can say that the watch is easily legible in most lighting conditions. Even though some reflections are picked up on camera which may indicate a weak anti-reflective coating, in reality, when checking the watch, the simple and maxi dial overcomes this issue. As for the cons, the biggest con is one that can only be found after experiencing the watch in person. And I would say that while the watch is very well designed, it is lacking a bit of design flair and it comes across as kind of vanilla or boring on the wrist. When looking at the greatest dive watches in history, each came with their distinct design flair. The Rolex sub with its Mercedes hour hand, the Tudor Black Bay with its snowflake handset and block markers, the distinct design elements in the Squale 1521, Zodiac Super Seawolf, Doxa Sub and so on. In my opinion, the Marai 401 fails to establish a distinct design language, and in person, I dare say that it borders on the look of a high quality homage watch, not unlike your Steinhardts. And this is reflected on wrist as I found the watch being quite unassuming and understated, and I didn't feel much when looking at it on my wrist in my day-to-day. The second con would have to be its price. Now, I always say I don't like discussing pricing much because it's a super subjective topic, but the $2,000 price range is a super competitive spot in the market, and while I do think that the Marai 401 offers enough for the asking price, some might be wanting more from the design language or even the brand heritage. So I went into this review pondering whether the Nomadic Marai 401 Deep Ocean Blue is a worthy alternative to the Tudor Black Bay, but I came out of it with another conclusion. While the Marai 401 borrows all the good from the Tudor Black Bay and other heritage divers, it certainly stands on its own as a high-quality microbrand dive watch that won't disappoint those looking for quality and specifications. But those who seek a watch with distinct character and definite vintage charm may come away disappointed. But these are just my opinions. Don't take my word for it and try to check out the Marai 401 for yourself. Thanks for tuning in to Telling Time. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more independent watch content. Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on the watch. And as always, I'll catch you again next time.